second thing is to forgive your father and release him to God. Forgive your father and release him to God. This is a story back in Genesis 50. I'll give you the background. You probably know it with Joseph. Joseph was the 11th of 12 sons to Jacob. And Joseph was bullied by his brothers like nobody's business. They actually wanted to kill him. They were going to kill him. And then Judah stepped up and saved the day. And he sold him into slavery. And then Joseph was put into Egypt. He rose up through the ranks and became the governor of Egypt, the whole land of Egypt. And then because of this famine that happened in the world, his brothers and father came to Egypt. You know the story. Came to Egypt. And when they found out that Joseph was who he was, verse 18 in Genesis 50 says that they threw themselves down in sorrow and submission to him. They were shameful of what they did to their brother. You know what Joseph's response was to them? It wasn't, "I told you so, you jerk. Who do you think you are? Look at me, I got all the power in the world. See, whatever." He wasn't rubbing in their face. It says in verse 19, when they bowed down, Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid, guys. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for the good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So then, don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children." And he reassured them, and he spoke to them kindly. There's three things that Joseph did here. First, he forgave his brothers. Second, he provided for them. He didn't just forgive them, but he produced in action, and he provided for his brothers. And third, he spoke to them kindly. He used positive words. See, forgiveness is more about you than it is about your dad. When I say that you need to forgive your dad and release him to God, it's more about you finding a place where you can live life abundantly. The life that Jesus said that he had come to give us, the abundant life. When you forgive, it's more about you than it is about your dad. And some of you guys today, I don't know where you are with this father wound, but if you have a father wound, you need to forgive your dad. You have to find a place to forgive him for not being around, for abusing you, for not leading you, for not helping you, for not being a role model in your life. You've got to find a place to forgive him. Because if you don't, maybe you set a poor example for you. If you don't, that wound will stay open and it will affect you forever. In fact, it will get worse. You know what happens when wounds stay open? They get infected and they get worse. And it's just going to keep getting worse. So you don't want that wound to get worse.